I've always wanted to write a book. I just felt like ever since meeting Ice-T, so many interesting things were taking place and happening out of nowhere that it just seemed so incredible that I said, I'm definitely going to have to write a story of some sort. Mm. I mean, I didn't know many years later, 17 years later, that it would become this.
We had a lot of fun. There were so many amazing pictures. Oh. Darlene, was on all these early rap tours, like a huge fan, so she took, like we had treasure troves of pictures to go through.
I didn't even know what I was taking photos of. I was just enjoying myself, going through that whole era. And so I was just taking photos. I didn't know how special they were going to be.
You didn't know this was Will Smith when he's like
15.
Not even known yet. He's got like an airbrushed homemade sweatshirt on or something, standing next to like Kurtis Blow or whatever crazy MC Shan.
That's true. Right, Scott LaRock, who ended up passing away before he even was, well known. I had been seeing photos and some footage on television of Run DMC. And all these other icons that were already Africa Bambaataa, Melly Mel. And so here comes this guy who walks in, and I'm like, that's the guy, because he had already done the Breakin' movies now. He'd already done both of them. And he walked in, and we're like, wow, that's him. He's major. You know what I'm saying? He's in that movement. And he sends another dancer who was like a brother to me, animation, over to me to ask me to come talk to him. So I thought that was kind of cute. I said, I know this is a grown man, but he did send another guy over to come ask me to come talk to him. So the rest was history. I went and sat down with him, and that was it. He just charmed me to death. I would have done anything for that guy at that moment.
Incredible game. He laid it on real thick,
And he's still like that, but yeah. I might feel one way about it, but I was pretty shaky about showing my grandmother, who's the only person I really cared about's opinion. And I took it to her, and I showed her, and she's, wow, you look so beautiful, you're so strong, and oh, that's lovely, honey. And I said, well, there's more. She said, okay. And I turned it around, and thongs weren't really a big deal back then. It was, nobody had ever really even seen it, for that matter. And she just kind of, she said, well, okay, I don't care for the back, but the front is lovely. And I thought, oh, that's my girl, she has my back.
And the grandfather still hasn't seen it.
And to this day, my grandfather had never seen it. My dad was like, right on. My dad is cool, he was a biker. No, my dad is a biker, and he was just like, that's right, honey, right on, right on. But my grandpa, everybody said, do not show him. So when I met Ice, though, I thought at that point it was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I think no, we still got it. We would be out places. And I recall two incidences. And one occurred because it was a African-American woman, a couple of them, and they were saying some stuff to us, some pretty awful stuff, and he, of course, checked them. You know what I'm saying? Because he could do that. So he checked them. He said something to him. We were in another state, and it was still very interesting to see a mixed couple like that. And then another incident that I actually wrote about in the book. We were in Westwood, which is predominantly UCLA students, and that we were there for a premiere, because at that point in time they were doing most of the movie premieres there, and we were leaving a premiere. I can't remember what movie it was for, and we were walking out, and a Mexican group of Mexican guys called out and said, yeah, and look, he can't even get his own, his own black girl. He has to come get ours. So we've had some incidences like that, and in the book I break down what happened to that guy. Sharing a bus with Biz Markie, Barry B, and TJ Swan, and just getting a chance to know these guys like family. You spend that many months every day with these guys and their girls and wives and everything. So the fondest memory is probably that, just getting to know each other like that deep, you know what I'm saying? And us standing out, because we were really the only West Coast group kind of out there, you know what I'm saying, like that heavy and deep with these people. So that felt pretty special. But there was an incident where that's when I knew that, wow, these people actually really care about us, where a guy ended up trying to mess with me backstage. Like, he was saying something, I was like, no. Oh, and then he got out of hand, because, like when you try to brush off a guy cordially, or not, as best as I could, and he just wasn't having it. And he started getting really irate and kind of loud. And of course, wrong place, wrong time. And I looked over and I see Professor Griff from Public Enemy. And literally he and the S1Ws walked over there and took that guy out. Like, let's go. I don't know what they did with him, but they took him out of that arena. And it was like, oh my God. And they were like, nah, you good. We got you. Because ICE was getting ready to go on stage or what have you. And I was standing on the side of the stage when this happened. So that felt pretty special. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, because they could have just looked. A lot of times people just stare and like, okay, whatever. Let her handle her. And they really came to like my rescue. And that was nice.